Before you change your brand voice, measure how it's doing. Hi, I'm Chris West from Verbal Identity. We're working with brand owners all around the world to help them improve their brand language and train their writers. The reason I say you should measure your brand voice before you do anything about changing it is that you want to see what's working and what's not. But also you want to see that once you've changed it, how much of a difference did it make? Doing an audit of your brand voice is actually quite simple. And you can do it yourself. Of course, it feels a bit like going to the doctors for a checkup. You know, it's going to take time, it's probably going to be intrusive, and worst of all, how are we going to feel about the results when we see them if we don't like the results? Every time we've done a brand audit, wherever we are in the world, whatever sector we're working in, when the results haven't been what everyone hoped before, then change has happened, and quite profoundly within 6 months. Because it's only when you're very clear that something isn't good enough that change happens, and then it happens fast. What we see is that the brand voice aligns more with the brand values. We see that more work is done in less time, often with the same or even fewer writers. More awards are won, if you like that. Engagement with the customers goes up. Doing a brand voice audit for yourself is actually quite simple. What I'd say you need to do is, first of all, look at how your brand voice aligns with your brand values in different channels. So take a random sample of material from different channels and allocate a score of 1 to 5 against each of those pieces of material. Next, look at how much time and money you're spending revising work, because it takes a lot of time, but it also costs a lot of money to be signing off version 20 instead of version 2, both your writer's time and your time. And then finally, the thing that we found very useful when we've audited brand voices in the past, say with Vauxhall, one of the world's largest car manufacturers, is to look at the effectiveness and the cost effectiveness of your in-house teams versus your external agencies. When you've measured that kind of thing, you can see what really needs to be changed and what doesn't. If you'd like someone like us to do a brand voice audit, it normally takes around 2 weeks from brief to having a board-ready report. And a board-ready report includes things such as how well aligned is your brand voice with your brand values. But it also shows you how competitive your brand voice is with other players in your sector. And it'll also see what your brand voice can learn from some of the best in the world brands around the world. It would also show you what the skill set level is of your team, whether that needs to change. And best of all, it will show you what it would cost to change your brand voice, how long it would take, and what savings you can expect. We've worked with lots of brands, and the truth is today that the brand voice is much more complicated than it was 20 years ago, even 5 years ago. There are so many channels, so many writers, and getting your brand voice clear and effective is one of the simplest things you can do to be highly competitive. If you'd like to find out more about how we've helped brand owners around the world, whether that's in the luxury sector, automotive, brewing, startups, big global companies, whatever it is, how we've helped them change their brand voice and improve it, please email me, chris@verbalidentity.com, and remember to put brand voice audit in your subject line, and I'll send you a short paper covering what we do and how we do it. Thank you.